Hi there. For those that don't know me, my name is Brock Traeger, and I'm one of the senior leaders here at Springbank Secondary College. The reason that you're viewing over this clip today is you are one of the key members of our school's community and someone that has a valid interest in our school's timetable. This presentation today is going to go through the timetable review process and, most importantly, the outcome. Now, some of you may be thinking, what's the purpose of doing a timetable review? Our timetable works perfectly just the way it is. Well, schools, like businesses and other industries, are always looking for a means of improving. Now, specifically, looking at the timetable review, what we really want to achieve is to optimize learning opportunities for our students, addressing the student needs. This here means actually understanding our students. Staff workload management, because schools are not exactly easy to run. And of course, and most importantly for us, our students' well-being. Now, the big question is, what is going to work best for Springbank Secondary College? Now, review processes are not exactly easy. So what we need to do is we need to really articulate the actual structure, design, and processes of what a review should look like. First, we need to actually begin with the research. We need to find out what would actually work best for our students. Then we need a survey. So this here is actually looking at each of the key stakeholders invested within our school and our school's community before we can actually determine what the outcome is going to be. The research was actually really quite interesting. So what we really wanted to do is we wanted to look at the research behind these longer lessons. Now for context, at Springbank Secondary College, we operate with 105-minute lessons. For each subject, we have 2 of these 105-minute lessons throughout the week, and our standard day is 3 105-minute lessons. So the research, as you can see over here, is showing us some of the positives. Having these longer lessons will really encourage that deeper engagement. The reduced transition time, which we know is actually important for our students. Better for some of our practical subjects, and also improve continuity. However, there are some challenges that it does bring up. That can be a decreased attention span. It can be a reduce in variety. Let's just say that you're not exactly enjoying maths and science, and you have maths and science throughout one day. It's probably going to be students not really wanting to attend on those days. 105 minutes for a teacher can actually be quite challenging as well. So we do have that fear of teacher fatigue, but we also have that impact on absenteeism. So while the research effectively was inconclusive of whatever outcome was best and optimal for our students, it did clearly indicate that what we really need to do is talk to each of the key stakeholders invested within our school. Now, this little diagram over on the left-hand side of the screen is actually showcasing for us the level of importance when it comes to these surveys. Now, our carers play an important factor. You are the ones that best know your young person outside of school and best know that their needs, especially of a morning and an afternoon. Our staff members, they know our students on the inside of the school. They know how they operate, both in lesson time and at breaks. And then students. This here is the real core of it. What we really want to do is create a timetable which best supports our students and their learning. And they are the only ones that can truly tell us what they learn best. I'd like to start by thanking the 52 carers that actually responded to our survey. Your input was greatly appreciated. As you can see here, the overarching statement for us was, are you happy with the current timetable? With a very large 88.2% saying they're quite happy with it. We broke it down further just to find out more information from you as the carers. 85.3% would prefer the 105-minute lessons. 67.6% prefer the 2 by 105-minute lessons per week. 57.7% are very happy with the current start time and finish time for our days, and close to 80% prefer the earlier finish time. Our staff, who actually know our students, when they're on site, in the classroom, or even during breaks, had a bit of a different view when it comes to our current timetable structure, with 71% indicating they would like to see change. Now, that there wasn't enough information for us. What we really wanted to do was break down what is it they specifically would like, knowing our students and knowing how best they learn. So 45% prefer a 1 longer lesson, which is 90 minutes, and 2 shorter lessons at 60 minutes per week, therefore increasing the number of exposures throughout the week. 45% prefer a timetable which is quite similar to Unley High School, And that is really supporting the 90 minutes and the 260 minutes, but that also had a shorter day at the beginning of the day on a Wednesday. 52% of staff prefer to have a little bit of a later start. I think this was actually in relation to a lot of our students arriving around that 9 o'clock mark to be able to support those students. Must also work a little bit better with the bus timetables as well. 75% prefer the care group at the start of the day. The comments that actually stemmed from this was again talking about our students arriving late. And 66.7% said that they would prefer Wednesday to be the shorter day. While we truly value the input that we received from carers and also from the staff members here at Springbank Secondary College, at the end of the day, we are all here for the students. And the students are what mean the most when it comes to refining our processes and improving within our school. So the question for us was, do you feel that the current timetable should change? As you can see here, close to 60% actually said they do not want to see change. 70% are quite happy with the timing and length of our breaks. 67.9% prefer our current start and finish times. 52.8% actually prefer the care group at the beginning of the day. 75.5% would prefer an earlier finish over a later start, which again is reflective of our current timetable, and 60.4% prefer Tuesday as our shorter day. Now, this here is 100 responses that we received from our students, so it was really good to see a high proportion of our student population really invested in this survey. At this stage, I would like to thank the Timetable Review Committee for their efforts in supporting this process. They conducted a huge amount of research, reaching out to other schools, trying to find the best way to optimise our students' learning. I would also like to thank them for their construction of the surveys that were sent out to you as key members within our community. And of course, I would like to thank you for your input and guidance as we reach our conclusion. As you can see here, the outcome of the timetable will be that the timetable remains unchanged for 2025. However, there is one key change that we are going to be implementing. That's when our data for attendance is taken. At the moment, attendance is actually conducted within our care group, which is close to 11 o'clock. So usually, if your young person is not attending, you will receive a communication from the school trying to ask where that young person may be during this day. Now, for those that don't actually check day map, you may not know when your young person is actually arriving at school. We've identified that. So what we're going to be doing is the data for attendance is going to be taken in the first lesson. So that way you will be informed as early as possible, being able to support your young person in attending our school. I'd really like to thank you all again for your time. All the best for 2025.